Hello, good evening. You're welcome to Relic Studio, and we are live today for our uh, midweek chat for the day, and we'll be starting right away. We have a whole lot to handle today, but we promise you in a very short while we we are going to bring our guest on board. So thank you for joining us today. It's promising to be a nice moment with you. I am Molali and this channel basically seeks to enlighten people, most especially in the place of leadership, and that is what we are keenly interested in. Today, we'll be looking at a very interesting topic, and that is Nigeria decides uh, the election of the presidential race of Nigeria coming in about 16 days' time on the 25th of this very month. And today we are having a very special guest on the program. He is Sam Makinde. He's a political economist. He's a graduate of Ekiti State University and a public affairs analyst. He joins us live from his house in Luton, UK. Good evening, Mr. Sam, and welcome to the studio. How do you do today, sir?
Oh, very well, thank you. Good evening, Mr. Bruno. Good evening, Welerek Studio and everyone. Good evening, Nigerians and our viewers at home.
All right, beautiful. Uh, let's go straight to the point for of the night. I've known you for quite a while, and I know what you represent, and I've always known you to be an advocate of good governance and leadership. I want to start by asking the very first question before we divert into the real issue for the day. In your own view, as an expert in the field of leadership and management, what will you say? What is your own definition of an ideal leader?
An ideal leader.
Yes.
Okay. Uh, Before we start talking about who an ideal leader is. I'll first say what is leadership. So, what is leadership? I'll say leadership is influence. Influence. And when we talk about an ideal leader, we are putting two things together, ideal and leader. Now, when you say something is ideal, something that is genuine, something that it's worth it. And when you say a leader is someone who leads from both behind and even at the front, who takes the lead. An ideal leader is someone who speaks to who work out his own word. His action speaks his word. When he says something, he's doing it. That is what I see as an ideal leader. Someone who give you backing when you're doing something. For example, a leader that give you something to do and is giving you backup to do it, and he meant every of his word. When he says something, he's doing it as well. That is what an ideal leader is to me.
Oh, beautiful, Mr. Sam. Thank you so much for that insight about who an ideal leader is. And moving forward now, I want to now streamline the conversation to the Nigeria election coming forth. We've seen a whole lot of candidates up there vying for the topmost seat of the Nigeria leadership, the presidency of Nigeria. And I'm very sure that you have been following most of these people without any sentiment now. Without any sentiment, I would love you to quickly help us analyze the personalities and the philosophy of these top candidates that are vying for the topmost seat of the presidency of Nigeria.
Right. Thank you once again. Thank you, Mr. Ogurino. Firstly, before going to your question, I love to say something about this studio, this reformist studio, this reformist, this leadership that is coming up and as a studio just to enlighten people, to bring up idea. This is a purpose. I want to start with that uh I'm not just an analyst here. I want to say I am partnering with this studio and with this leadership organization, and I am determined with you to make notable progress in life using our voices, using our ideas, not only money, because in this part of the world that we have, for example, in Nigeria, precisely, we believe the only way to be a blessing is to give someone money. It's not all about money. Of course, we can give out our ideas, we can lend our voices to some things, and these are things we will be enjoying on this channel. So I'm enjoying. I'm telling everyone that is watching us from home to please subscribe and make sure they follow us on this channel. Thank you. So going to your question, is a pity that we are only concentrating on presidential election. If you had asked me this type of question maybe a few weeks ago, I would just go straight to the point. But to me, in the recent times, I'm beginning to get some things that really Nigeria is actually beyond talking about the presidency alone. If I'm not mistaken, and I'm saying what some people are saying, I don't know if it's genuine, that currently our country is not being governed alone by the Mr. President. That some people are governing the country, or they are deciding the how things go in the country. They are deciding it for the Mr. President. So about the elections of the House of Rep, we are not talking about the honorables, we are not talking about the councillor, because all these people makes government. But it is what it is. We are where we are. We believe that once the president is settled, every other thing will fall in place. I will say no. So I want we Nigerians to just let's not just be narrow-minded. Let's not just put our hearts to president. The president will not go there. Whoever that he manage will not go there to go and perform magic, even when other things are not working. That's why we have three arms of government. And going to these three candidates, well, let me talk about their manifesto. Let me start with the candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. They are all saying things that they will do for us, their manifesto. For example, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, the candidate of the PDP, is emphasizing on a lean government, a government that is pro-business, a government that focus on private sector, that will be private sector driven, a government that wants to unite and expand Nigeria, a government that want to focus on expanding the SMEs and STEM focus on education. I think, if I'm not mistaken, that has been few of his manifesto. When you go to the agenda, or let me say manifesto of the candidate of All Progressives Congress, that is Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. His government, he has been saying that his government has great ideas because he has given some ideas in the past. He's an idealist, he's a strategist, as he calls himself, and people call him. That is a government that will be full of ideas, they will spend, and they will spend rapidly, and they will build more infrastructure, build more industry, and with a focus on agriculture. I'm very sure many people that are lovers of these candidates, we always say agari, agbado, cassava, and the likes. I think is one of his key manifestos is on agriculture. Why the other candidate, the third candidate, the candidate of the Labour Party, Peter, His Excellency Peter Obi, he says his own government is positioned as embodiment and aspiration of Nigerian youthful population. I think his own major point is about the youthful part of the population that are not working, ideas that are not working. And his government is saying his own government is focused on regional growth, public sector, cutting down waste, and using the waste to solve problem instead of wasting it as well. And at the same time, moving Nigeria from consumption to production. Very good. All these candidates meant well. All these candidates meant well. But when we look at it, I don't know if I will still have opportunity. If you still ask me this question again, I don't know if we continue in the conversation. There are some things I would love to share. We are not going to talk about. I don't want to talk about being a Yoruba man or being Igbo man or being an Hausa man. But it is always good. I will round up by saying this, that you have a company, you want to hire someone to your company, and in the CV of you have 3 people that want to take the job. The first person in his CV, you discover that the person wants to buy your company. The second person in his CV, you discover that the person wants to inherit your company. And the third person is in his CV, you discover that the person is saying that he wants to build your company for you. Who will you hire? I will round up on that question. I don't know if I answered the question at all.
Yeah, very well, Samuel. Thank you for those beautiful insights. It's not least expected from somebody like you, and I so much appreciate that you took time to look into the philosophy very well, and rounding up on the personality. You stylishly threw back the question to me like in form of a rhetoric question, and I would have loved to have. Yeah, you didn't really talk about their personality very well, but I don't know why you choose to. But with your very last question, can you just help us to expatiate on those uh, the the one that want to buy, the one that want to sell, and the one that want to build? Can we have yeah, can you help us expand on that, sir?
All right. Thank you, Mr. Ogrin. This is a live program, and we will always say things the way it ought to be. It's all the way it is. And this is not a platform where we have to be doing like this. This is a real platform where we say if it is blue, it is blue. Let's take for example, or this is not even an example. Let's use each of them as their own case study. The candidate of All Progressives Congress, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He's a Yoruba man. And I've heard so many things about him, fantastic things about this man. He's an idealist. He's a man, is a man that gathers good brain together. He's a strategist. But Yorubas are saying they want this man. Why? Because they don't want power to go to the north. Because when power goes back to the north, it will be difficult to take it back. And that is why Yorubas are actually following this man. Secondly, Yoruba has a word that permit me to speak in my mother's tongue. They will say, "Ọmọ ẹni ò kì í ṣèdí bẹ̀bẹ̀ káfílẹ̀kẹ̀ sídìí ọmọ ẹlòmíì." They are saying that this man has done it in Lagos. I'm saying it, there is someone that wants to inherit your company. There is someone that wants to buy your company. There is someone that wants to build your company for you. If I'm not being biased, Tinubu was the governor of Lagos. I lived in Lagos for some time, and if you ask Lagosian, I can tell you some key revenue in Lagos goes directly to Tinubu. If let him put out his worth to come and defend himself. Some key revenue goes back to Tinubu. Some things, billboards and other things, goes to his family, not just himself alone. He distributed these things to his family. And like Yoruba will say, if they give you O to make something, I don't know how they used to put it, you will pack it to your own side. And that's what this man, to me, that's one thing he has done. He's an idealist, he's a good man, but this man is a politician, and a good politician, to be precise. Nigerian hiring this man, the question is that, as good as it is, will he listen when people are crying? For the fact that the man, someone who doesn't respect what people are saying before he gets there, will he respect you when he gets there? If I'm not mistaken, Mr. Ogrino, the choice of the people is not Muslim ticket. This man went ahead and carry Muslim ticket, and you know a lot of drama that came about that Muslim ticket, gathering pastors, fake pastors, all in the name of they want endorsement, just to disguise and people and say Christians are enjoying this man. Majority, let me say, Christians, they are being marginalized at that part. This man doesn't listen to what people are saying. He believes in politics. I know this man is intelligent. I know this man has the stuff. I know this man knows the secrets of Nigeria. But this man, will he not play politics with people's interest? That is one. Now, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, this man, he has been on the run for quite a long time. I think before I was born, this man has been running for the post of president of this country. This man has been running right before I was born. He has not given up. Is it because he wants to save Nigerian or for himself? Remember when this man was vice president, even his own president, his own principal, he's saying that he cannot entrust some things to him. When he was contesting, I think, is it 2019? His own principal that worked with him is not ready to support him because there are some things that this man bought for himself in the name of being the vice president of Nigeria. And that is where my argument is coming in, as someone wants to buy your company. And he's not hiding it. This man is not hiding it. One of his manifesto is private sector driven. And how will the private sector economy work if you don't sell it out? A lot of things that have been sectors that have been controlled by government, even in Nigeria now, is being controlled by the private because it has been sold. And the last person that said the person want to build your company for you, to me, this man, he has been saying that we are consuming economy. And of the truth, yes. Sir, you are in just Nigeria. How many companies can you count outside Jos? How many companies can you count in Osun State? How many companies can you count in um Delta, in Ebonyi? How many companies can you count in Taraba? How many companies can you count in other states of Nigeria, aside places like Port Harcourt, aside places like Jos, aside places like Lagos, and maybe few in Ibadan? Average Nigerian youths, when we graduate, the first thing we do is to become a teacher, even when we don't study education. Average Nigerian youths that are now graduating, many of us are now going back to go and start learning, maybe sewing, maybe vulcanizer, plumbing, and all of that, because our certificate is no longer relevant. And on these premises is why I am saying someone want to buy your company, someone want to build your company for you, and someone want to inherit your company because he believes it's his own. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sam Makinde. What a very beautiful analysis we're having tonight. And I want to say something
Yeah. Your network, Mr. Ogorino.
oh sorry, we have
Yeah,
a bit of technical we have a bit of technical issue there.
yeah, no
So
problem.
sorry, we are back. Yeah, we are back again. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you so much for those following us online. We really want to appreciate everyone. The love you've shown is really appreciated. And permit me to, at this point, thank Olo Labibukumi. Thank you for following us. Gideon Wale, thank you. Temitope Grace, and the rest. If you are online right away, please you can use the Aisu Victor. Thank you from Lagos. Thank you for joining us. If you have any question for our guest tonight, please use the comment section. Use the comment section. I've seen most of us greeting us. Thank you so much. Really appreciate. Really appreciate. You can use the comment section to uh, put your own contribution or question across to our guest. So we'll be moving to another interesting part of the discussion now. And now, uh, a whole lot of dramas are going on currently. in the polity, and we want to look at those dramas and the likely effect they might actually have on the election. Mr. Sam, if you are still there with us,
Yeah, yeah, very well,
I
very
want
well.
to ask this question now. I want to ask this question now. I want to ask this question now. You've been following and you've been seeing the dramas that are ongoing. We've seen a particular candidate going by saying some things that ought not to be. In fact, in particular, there is the candidate of the ruling party. Some analysts have said that he even look as if he's campaigning against an opposition party. You know, when a party that is in power is saying that he want to come and rescue, he want to come and, you understand. And also some of the utterances, some have even gone to another way to actually question the mental state of the mental health state of the man. Someone like Atiku as well, of recent we saw all these tape that was released indicting him of something which he has gone on here and he could not deny. And also look at the number three candidate, the third force, the seemingly third force, Peter Obi, and all the attacks he has been having on his convoy here and there and everything. What can you make from all this drama? Is there anything to make from all this drama?
Uh, well, Mr. Ogrino, I don't think it's less expected. The major thing for me is that we Nigerians, we must remain focused. At a time like this, we will always see drama. We will always see drama. But it's a pity that our leaders, the kind of politics they are playing, they are only playing politics not for the people anymore. We say we are running democracy, but we are not running democracy for the people anymore. We are now running it for ourselves. And if you will give me little time, the people, the Hausas, some of them want their children. Yorubas, some of them want, they want their child rather, their son, Atiku. Some want what is it called? Tinubu in Yoruba, among the Yoruba. Why the East, the Southeast, and others, they want their son, Peter Obi. Now, this regional politics of ethnicity, I don't think is helping us at all. And all this drama, to me, is not less expected. But when it begins to take people life, I think government need to come to our rescue. People are beginning to die. If you can remember, Dr. Ibele Goodluck Jonathan said something that nothing worth the blood of any Nigerian. Even before election, people are now dying. I could see a tape online where bankers they are climbing fence just to run away. I think a bank in Delta or something. They were running for their lives because some banks are now being burnt because of all this free scarcity. Now let's look at it. Currently in Nigeria, there is fuel scarcity, there is scarcity of naira, and I think it's three things: naira, fuel, and this PVC at the same time. Now, the point is that the only part that concerns the ruling party or the ruling people in Nigeria, the ruling cabals, is the naira redesign and the naira scarcity. The fuel scarcity, they are not talking about it because that's not their problem. The PVC, not collecting PVC, is not their problem. Because if we don't collect PVC, it's their own gain. Now, the only thing that is giving them problem is the Naira redesign and the scarcity of Naira. It shows how unempathetic they are. Now, I think Nigerian, we should wake up and be able to hire who we can fire. Let's hire who we can fire. If we hire, to me, that if we hire the ruling party again, we are going to go with it for another 8 years. Now, all these dramas, to me, it's not less expected. It's not less expected. It's a way, even the candidate of the ruling party, the APC, or Siwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, campaigning against his own party. Now, Nigerians should wake up. This is the man that say is the one that put the president there. This is the man that is saying that is the one that enthroned him, is the one that gave him this, is the one that supported him, is the one that do this, and now he's campaigning against him. He's saying that the ruling party that is there, they cannot think. So I think they are the one that is confused. We are not confused. So we should not confuse ourselves. They are the one fighting themselves now because whatever they are doing is not in their favor anymore. They are not favoring themselves. They are kind of against themselves and all sorts of manner. So it's not least expected. All of this will go down after the election. It's just a pity that we Nigerians we go forget things easily. We forget things so fast. The suffering of the past, we are forgetting everything. We are forgetting. Even this one that we are going through now, once it's gone, it is gone. We go about with our life again. But it's a pity that we don't enthrone leaders that have empathy. Let's enthrone leaders that has human feeling, leaders that are human being. Well, I will say for myself, let me say I'm not really in the best position to talk about Nigeria because currently I am not in Nigeria. I'm not in Nigeria, rather. I'm out of Nigeria, but definitely I'm still coming back to Nigeria. And we are going to, no matter where we are going to start rebuilding Nigeria ourselves. Now, but the point is that where I am, do you know the government of United Kingdom, because of inflation and coronation and some things that is going on, because this is a government that we think they have structure. If you know the number of strikes they have per week, we say, really, this government went ahead and reduced the prices of buses that people take to work and all around commercial vehicles. Reduced it. No matter where you are going, is £2, just £2. Now, the main thing is this is even though they are government, they know people are lamenting, and because they are human being. Let's bring in human being. Some of our leaders, they are no longer human being. They are now in politics, and politics is everything. Politics, as far as it's going to favor them, then they don't care about what people will say. They don't care about people. At the time, we were all shouting Muslim ticket is not good, Muslim ticket is not good, Northern ticket is not good. We've forgotten all of that now. We forget things easily. So all this drama is not least expected. We should not just lose focus. That's what I will say. We should not lose focus. It's not least expected. It's what we should expect at a time like this.
Okay, yeah, very beautiful. And I will I would love to ask this question as we conclude. And there is a question as well waiting. in the comment section for us. We are going to attend to it from Haisu Victor, my very good friend from Lagos. Is asking a question here, and we'll bring it on board. But before we go to that, you've lived in Nigeria and you've known through history how the voting pattern in Nigeria has changed. Do you envisage any any difference any differences can there be any differences from what we used to experience before, or how do you see the permutation of this forthcoming election? How do you see it playing out? Can it still be the same, or will it be a repeat of what we normally know, or there might be a kind of changes?
All right. Do you want me to go ahead and answer the question? Okay. All right, Mr. Ogrino. If I will answer the question on the what's going on, the voting pattern, will it have and what is currently going on, the voting pattern and the candidates? We're having three candidates now, top candidates. Will the voting pattern remain the same? If I get it right, is that the question? I guess Mr. Ogrino's network. All right. So if we speak to the voting pattern, unlike before, unlike before, that we used to have two horses fighting, that we used to have two-party system, even though we operate a multi-party system in Nigeria. Now, unlike before that we have two-party, that we have two people or two party fighting for the topmost seat, which is PDP and APC, we are having another strong force from the Labour Party, that is with the candidacy of Peter Obi. And we must not forget there is another force, and it might be a minute force, or let me say a force that seems to be invisible, but we must not neglect it, which is the for NNPP, if I'm correct, Kwankwanso, which have that has a very major role to play when it comes to Kano results. And when you look at the way people collected what is it called, PVC this time, I think Lagos is having highest number of collection, followed by Kano, followed by Kaduna, and like that. Now, when you look at the voting pattern before, the highest votes come from the north, while the second largest voting area is the southwest. And this time around, it's going to be very, very, it's not going to be the same with the normal one we used to have. Why? It is going to be like this. Tinubu taking Shetima, that is from, I don't know if he's from Kaduna or Katsina. Now, he's going to take a vote. Atiku coming from Adamawa is going to get his votes. And when you now look at it, and the presidential vice president of Labour Party from Kaduna is going to get his own vote as well. Now, if you remove the Hausa and Fulani, if you try to separate them and we don't bring all of them together as the North, because it is possible we have something like that this time, that Fulani might want to go with their own son. Hausas will want to go with their own sons. Even though we used to bring all of them together, they might not come together this time. So if they should separate, definitely Yoruba will come in as the largest voting area, which is the southwest. So it's not going to be the same this time. And there is a lot of permutation that okay, Tinubu take the southwest, Tita Obi will take the southeast, south, and other south. Why the Atiku will take parts of the north, and Kwankwanso now is a force to reckon with. And we can't, to even like 2 or 3 weeks to the election now, we still cannot say this is the actual way that we go. Why? Because I am reading some things online. I don't know how true it is, that it is possible that we have a merger between Kwankwanso and Atiku. If these forces should come together, it might be very difficult. It might be very, very difficult to break, and I think power might go back to the north. So I think the major thing is just that let's just try to do our best. Vote for someone we can trust. Let's vote for someone we can entrust Nigeria onto. Let's vote for someone that has empathy of the youth. Let's vote for someone that has empathy for humanity. Someone who has not been brainwashed with politics and politics and politics alone. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. As we wind down, please quickly help us attend to this question in Lagos. Yeah, I'm displaying it right away. You can see the question.
If you can hear me, Mr.
What
Anthony, I think your
would,
microphone is low. Your microphone.
okay, but you can hear me clearly now.
Is
Can you
not
hear me
loud
now?
enough.
Okay. What about now?
All right, you can just continue. It's not just loud enough.
Okay. I said thank you so much. But now, let's go to the question asked by Mr. Victor. Hope you can hear that. His question,
Yeah, I
what
can
will
hear
you
you.
suggest? Yeah, what would you suggest as a mitigation to this current situation, I guess, in our dear country? What will you suggest as a solution?
All right. I'm trying to take the question. What will you suggest as a mitigation to this current solution? Ha.
Yes.
Well, the problem is quite much. I don't think anybody has a blueprint of how to solve the problem. Sincerely, I don't think I have the blueprint of how to solve the problem. Nigeria problem requires that a lot of heads, good brain need to come together to come and fix this problem. We are not having one problem, sir. We are not having two. We are not having three. We are having fuel problem. We are having currency problem. We are having PVC election and all of that. The major thing that can solve this problem is good leadership. When good leadership come in, good leaders come in, bring good brains together, a lot of things will fall in place. Sincerely, I don't think anybody can categorically tell me that there is a blueprint to solve Nigeria problem. Just good leadership. Good leadership. That's what I would say.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Sam. Good leadership. That is just the solution to Nigeria problem. And we've had it right from the personality and the permutation and the drama that we currently have in the political space of Nigeria. And this will be all our show for tonight. And I think I really want to give a very big kudos to my guest tonight in person of Sam Makinde, joining us from Richmond in UK. I quite understand how busy schedules are over there and for the love to actually show up. And thank you for the advert you did at the initial stage of the program and for the interest you've shown. And for the sake of those that doesn't really know, if I will even say that one of the brain or the major brain behind Velerec Studio that we have today is Sam Makinde. I could recall that in the early conversation we had earlier in the year, he kept saying it, no, you have to do this, you have to do this, and as God will have it, the studio came on board due to the words of encouragement that we have gotten. And it's not, yeah, it's wearing a double cap tonight, not just uh, not just a guest or analyst, is as well, is as well, uh, in fact, not even a partner, but I think best said is a co-founder of this Velerec Studio and a great man indeed. Sam Makinde, thank you for joining us tonight. Really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
All right, beautiful. Thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate everybody in the comment section. And in fact, the love is so enormous. The love is so great. I'm very, very grateful. We can do it together. Let's keep on putting our resources together, putting our heads together. I hope you hear what Mr. Sam said earlier. The solution to Nigeria problem is just good heads coming together. Good heads, not just heads coming together. Good heads coming together. In our own little space, we can do our best to see a Nigeria of our dream. Jackpine is becoming the order of the day. There is hunger in the land. There is so much drama in the land. But we can change this narrative. Only you and I can do this. And this is what Relerec Studio has brought to us. And this is one thing we swear our allegiance to doing in the coming days. Till we meet again on Sunday, there will be an interesting topic to discuss on Sunday. You can learn about leadership here, you can learn about economics, you can learn about business. Please do well to join us on that very day. I thank you and I say God bless you all and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. See you some other time.